Math Genie.
In this video, I'll be explaining how to solve system of equation problems with more than two equations. In my last video, I covered how to solve system of equation problems with only two equations by solving a perimeter problem. Let's look at the example question. Working together, Albert, Brent, and Chris can lift 240 pounds. Brent, Chris, and David can lift 250 pounds. Chris, David, and Albert can lift 260 pounds. And Albert, Brent, and David can lift 270 pounds. How many pounds can all four men lift if they work together? So whenever you solve any system of equation problems, you always want to first set up a variable. So I'm going to start with Albert. So Albert, I'm going to represent the amount of work he can do as A. And then Bren. And remember, you can use any alphabets or any variables. Chris as C. And finally, David as D. So always remember the first step of solving system of equation problems is setting up variables. Now let's move on to the second step. So the second step again is pretty much self-explanatory. You have to set up an equation, and in this case we're going to set up four equations because we're given with four different clues. So let's do that. So we're given that Albert, Bren, and Chris can lift 240 pounds. And we'll move on to the second equation. So Bren, Chris, and David can lift 250 pounds. Third equation, Chris, David, and Albert can lift 260 pounds. And finally, Albert, Bren, and David can lift 270 pounds. So we're given with these four equations. I know you're going to be tempted to solve each of these equations individually and try to find the value of each of these four variables, because we're asked in the question to find the sum of all the pounds that these four men can lift. But do not do that, because remember, you have a limited amount of time to solve each question at competitions. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add all of these four equations because I see something. We're given with 1, 2, 3 A's, 1, 2, 3 B's, 1, 2, 3 C's, and 1, 2, 3 D's. So we're given with 3 number of variables when you add all of them up together. So whenever you add up all of them together, you'll get 3A plus 3B plus 3C plus 3D. So you're going to end up with that. And look at this. And you add up all of these numbers on the sides, you're going to end up with 1,020. And I think you can see how to solve the rest of this equation. You're going to group everything by 3. So A plus B plus C plus D, 1,020. And look, you can simplify everything by dividing each side by 3. So guess what? You're only left with one of these variables. What are we trying to look for? How many pounds all four of the men can lift. So we're actually, since the beginning, we're trying to find A plus B plus C plus D. So you don't have to find individual variables. So what is the answer to this question? 340 pounds. It's easy as that. You could use the other two methods like substitution or elimination to solve this problem, but that's going to take you a long time because not only you have 4 equations, but look at the numbers on each side. That's not going to be fun to solve. So I really highly recommend you to solve these type of problems this way, especially when you don't have a coefficient in front of these variables. If you do have different coefficients such as like 3a plus 2b plus 4c, maybe you do have to use the other 2 methods such as substitution and elimination. But remember, whenever you have 1 as your coefficient, always use this method because it's going to work. Thank you for staying until the end of this video.
Math Genie.